You're first here, Danny. I was just trying to play with it and get it set up. And, you know, nothing really works when you want it to. So I think I got it today. Except I got this glare on my glasses. I can't see anything with them or without them. How are you doing? Is it cold where y'all are at today? We're at 52, but it's kind of partly sunny. Mm. Did it show that I was live or that I was just, you were just, it was just waiting? Because I've had it set up for a little bit just to make sure. I have to learn to start early. I got to change channels here so I can. Where Danny, what's your sub count? Did you get over the 680 mark? Mine has been really slow lately. I've had a lot of views, but not a lot of new subs. So I guess I need to get out there and market myself. I don't know. Just got to find time, I guess. I'm early. Um, 683. You're at 683. That's good. I got up to 680 yesterday and then I dropped back down to 679. It's killing me. So we'll just wait and see if anybody notices that I got it. I'm on. Um, I am live. Guess I turn my eyes this way, sideways, so that you don't see the glare. Let me give myself a thumbs up. So what are you doing lately, Danny? If I turn my computer a little bit. No, that didn't help, did it? So I'm just waiting. So anyone who is watching the replay, if you have not gone over to the Noodle November 2022, there's some great noodle recipes on that collaboration. That's the one I did yesterday. I put my video up. Smoked bacon macaroni and cheese on the grill. It was pretty cool. So if you're watching the replay, go over and check that one out. Also, Coupon Gale is doing the Boosteroo, uh, Get New Friends, and her clever little word this month is turkey a roo. And there's a Christmas one with Joy and Donnie. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to look it up. I hate it when I forget stuff like that. Um, Joy. Storyteller Storyteller Donnie, that's one of them. I'm gonna look it up so I can be informed. Um, okay. It's a new collaboration. I'm early. Um, Joy Blessed Life. That's the one she's hosting it. Okay. And it is called Holiday Blessings 22. Holiday Blessings 22. Y'all go check that one out. And there's also another one that Ariel and Gail, Coupon Gale, are doing Christmas is Coming 22. Hey, Good Eats Homestead. How are you? I'm just sitting here chatting with myself. I'm trying to remember all the different collaborations that are going on. Christmas is Coming 22. The Christmas 22 is coming. I may have gotten that one wrong now. And Joy Blessed Life is doing Holiday Blessings 22. Coupon Gale is doing the Boosteroo, Turkeyaroo, Let's Make New Friends collaboration. Ah, good. Um, and then the Noodle November, um, Noodle November 2022. Yes. Um, hey, Elise, how are you? I hadn't seen you in a minute. You missed you. I hope everything's doing well. Let's see, today we are at 52 degrees. Good. I'm glad you're good. Um, how's your little duckies? Um, 52 degrees and partly sunny. Oh, you have a fox problem too? Oh my gosh. Um, my camera's acting up and it keeps kicking me off the internet. I'm not real sure why. So now I have to go back and reposition the camera and check it out. Um, and I'm sure we still have a coyote problem, but I haven't been seeing them on the trail cam, and maybe it's because there's deer in the woods and they're sighting on something else besides me. Um, so yeah, they're probably gonna run off the deer, and we need a couple of venison this year because we're getting low. We only take what we need for the family. Um, even though we have 9 acres and there's lots of them out there, we only take what we need. Um, but yeah, I got a really bad problem with predators too. Um, I don't have a mod here yet, but I'm sure somebody will come in. Um, otherwise, I would pull y'all's channels up. Hey, Danny. Danny, do you want to be a mod for me? I don't have a mod today. Say yes. um, and that way, if I need to drop any links, um, so the Noodle November, lots of there's so many good noodle recipes, and honestly, I cannot make a noodle to save my life. Maybe because I don't know, you don't really have to have any special equipment. You just have to have a sharp knife and have a good recipe. Um, but I would love to make noodles, but then you have to have a place to dry them, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Yes. Um, and I did go and look to see where you were at, 683, Danny. We finally, for those who don't know, we've been running neck and neck for a long time. I think we started pretty close to the same time, and we were on the same number for like a week at least. And I got up to 680, and now I'm back down to 679. So, but at least I didn't go back to six triple sixes. I didn't like that. But I did get started a few minutes early today because I was messing with the computer and I was going to make sure that it was working right. I went offline, but I am back online, right? Um, I don't know why it kicked me off for a second there. Um, so anyway, it's just I'll gain a few and lose a few, and you know, I don't know exactly why. You see me now. Well, all of a sudden, I had a note. Hey, 12 Stones Ranch, how are you doing? Raquel, right? One of these days, I'll remember everybody's names. Um, so yeah, you know, we're actually. Oh, the sun must be up because now we're at 53, and it's really a pretty day, but it's kind of like crispy cold. But I mean, the wind's not blowing at least, so we didn't have a lot of damage when the last storm came in. Noodle November, yes. I put my entry up yesterday. For those who have not seen it, it is Byron. Okay, yes. Um so my entry was smoked bacon macaroni and cheese on the grill. It was really good. We've used that recipe for quite a while. My son usually makes it, and those big metal, I mean, aluminum pans, that you get at the dollar store or whatever. Um, oh, Rachel is Cottonwood Ranch. Oh, shoot. See, I'll get the names right, eventually. Hey, Nona Grace, how are you? going to have my lunch with you. Oh, how nice. That's nice. Um, I don't know how many actually come on at their lunch hours. Um, a lot of the people I know are retired. So, um, and don't necessarily have a day job where they can sit and have coffee. So while you're having your lunch, I'll have my coffee. I found this is one of my favorite cups. Well, I have a lot of favorite cups, but this is one of my favorites. But you can't really see. I'm left-handed, so they're backwards. It's like, they do that to me. But these are pottery cups, and I got it at Ocracoke over on the Outer Banks. I mean, 10 years ago. But it has a chip in right there. It has a chip. And so I can't put it in the microwave anymore. So, um, but I love this cup. It's just, I mean, I just like the pottery cups. I have a couple of really nice pottery cups. So, but I found this one this morning and I remembered that this chip was in here. As a matter of fact, I got this visor at the same time. I've been wearing it that many years too. But, you find something you like and then you just wear it out. I mean, people get tired of probably seeing me in it. Well, and I don't have to comb my hair if I wear it, so I can let my hair stick up and do whatever it wants to do. So, yeah, but this is one of my favorite cups, and it was made on the island over there. 12 stones is too early to be eating sun chips because I feel accomplished doing that right now. Well, sun chips are good. Um, yeah, they're really good. Um, I found all kinds of Halloween candy. I'm at my son's house, and I found all kinds of Halloween candy, since the kids they go to private homes. They don't really go, door to door anymore. Who does that really anymore? And you can't do it without um adults anyway. It's just too much craziness going on. Danny says, check out the new channel that are on the journey to self sustainability. Good Eats Homestead. Yes, that's a great channel too. And some of these channels, some of the newer channels, and I don't know about you guys, but I met them on the Boosteroo challenge or Boosteroo. Is it a challenge? Um, so we go in and we support smaller channels, which I feel like I'm a smaller channel. I've been small channel, I mean, for a long time. I grow very slow. Good morning, Gummy Doolittle. There's another small channel. That is my sister Gummy. Um, so yes, I've met a lot of new people from different areas. They're not all homesteading. They're not all crafts or yarn. Some are like traveling, like Gummy Doolittle. Their channel is mostly about RVing and taking care of a great grandson who is autistic. They're trying to give him the best life that he can have with his condition. And yes, sometimes they go places and it's hard to believe that they would bully a child that has a disability, but sometimes they go in a place, and if she does not have his harness and his sign, because he has a laminated type sign that has autistic, the word autism on it, but if he is not labeled when he goes into a place, and if he because he's nonverbal, he does make loud noises. He does make some shrieking noises sometimes when he gets upset. And but if he doesn't have his label on, sometimes they bully him because he's being noisy. Hey, Fr Humphrey, how's it going? So yeah, they have found that, and she had a little bit of bullying on a couple of her videos, that they were making fun of him because he was doing repetitive motions, and so unfortunately, uh nobody is safe anymore from bullying, whether you're a child or an adult. So yeah, but Yeah, I mean, it's a shame, and they, to say ugly things about someone. This is supposed to be a happy place. We're supposed to be meeting people that we would normally not interact with from all over the country. Who came in that I'd missed? Um, yeah, it is. It's sad, and he doesn't know it, but his great grandparents know it, and it hurts their feelings because they're trying to just show a child that you know he's not in a wheelchair. He's very healthy. He's very active. If to look at him, you wouldn't know he's autistic until he has some mannerisms. Then, but Nona Graces, I work with autistic children. The families have a difficult challenge every day. Yes, and it's not just a few hours a day. They're dedicated 24/7. I mean, it doesn't I mean, he has to be monitored 24/7. It's if he's not sleeping, even when he's sleeping, if he gets up and they're asleep, then, they could, I mean, they have locks on the doors, bars on the windows, everything to protect him from going out and exploring because he likes to do that. Gummy says it's a world of bullying and sadness with autism and special needs aren't educated that children and adults are viewed as bad kids. Yes. And so now, just to be aware, she puts a harness on him, and you'll see in some of their videos because they do a lot of RV traveling. And when they go to restaurants in a new place, sometimes it upsets him because it's new and it's unfamiliar. And if the noise is very loud, he's very sensitive with his ears. So, when they just came back from the coast in California, and if you go into a relaxed restaurant with music, and sometimes the music is very loud. So occasionally, yes, they have to cut their time short and take their meal outside so that, you know, it won't upset him, or, when they start saying ugly things about him, he doesn't know it. And thank goodness that he doesn't, because it would hurt his feelings, but it hurts our feelings that somebody would um do that. Her channel name is Gummy Doolittle, just like above you there. That is her channel. Um yeah, that's it. And she's been supporting my channel, both my channels, for a couple of years. Um Maybe next year is going to be the year that I'm going to get my watch hours. I'll have my viewers. So maybe next year I'll be able to get enough watch hours. Since I've started doing a few of the lives. Now I have not done any lives, and I didn't realize on my other channel I had never done a short. And I'm kind of surprised myself because I do a lot of shorts on this channel, but and I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna have to focus a little bit more because I have quite a few followers over there. But hey, Chuck, how is it? So good to see you. I did see you come in real quickly, and I almost missed you. Great, cool Wednesday morning. Yes, yes. And I do love it because I mean it rained for 2 days. Everything is soggy and wet, and it just you can't go outside with coming back in and you're wet up to your knees and your jeans, and it just makes for a lot of laundry for somebody who doesn't have a washer and a dryer. But I'll get there. Yes, support the pastor. um let's see, Elise is one of my neighbors that lives near me, within a short distance. So I knew her through our love of chickens and ducks. Gummy says otherwise he does very well. Up to 6 months ago, he has been more upset and sensitive to his environment. Head and ear pain after a bad illness. Yes. Um, and he does go to school, but he cannot ride the bus because the children are so cruel to him, and they're special needs also, which, just goes to show you how widespread it is. They make so much noise it hurts his ears, and then when his ears are hurting, then he screams. Occasionally, he did get beat up at school last week. Um, Someone was, up in his face, and he socked somebody, I think. Donna, I have to tell you about that. But he finally he just fought back a little bit, but you can't blame him because he was pushed and pinched, and so he was just taking up for himself. So he is aware that it hurts. Nona says we had a harness on my granddaughter. Um, to her, we called it her Elmo. Yeah. So many people gave us trouble about her harness. Yes, they think that you're being cruel by putting a harness on them or tying them to your wrist, and like a puppy, So they see that as an insult to the child, which they don't realize that this little one is a runner, which a lot of autistic children are, children in general are. But if he decides to go off somewhere, he doesn't see cars. He only sees that he wants to go pick up that ball, but he will run, and he'll run out in front of places. So they have to wear the harness especially when they're on walks and nature walks. And, he could just walk right off the cliff and they couldn't catch him because he's fast. He's very fast. If anyone is interested in supporting one another, here is a chat. You can scroll up and find uh, everyone here's link. Yes. Um, yeah, the harnesses are very good safety measures. Mornings on the bus is good, and sometimes a little noisy. Afternoons, they had to actually take him off from riding the bus in the afternoons because it was so unruly. And sometimes I think the teachers aren't very supportive either, because they meet her every day and it's like, oh, guess what he did today? Like being a tattletale, he's special needs. Yes, you know, he might not do what you want him to do. Yes, thank you, Danny. Um, so yeah, I mean it's hard. It's very difficult. And this is a great grandson. So, they're in their 60s and 70s. Um, but he's going to have to be cared for all his life. Nona Grace said we had a foster child that would go with anyone, so he wore the wrist cord. Yes. Unimportant homestead. Oh, you're not late. I sort of started it early. I was going to make sure that I was on time, and I was fiddling around with it. And next thing I know, Danny was already here. So I felt bad just leaving her hanging in the window. So, yes, it is a struggle. I mean, it's a struggle, but you know what? It has not stopped them from going camping. They go camping many times a year, usually closer to where they live, so they can do smaller trips. But he gets to go, and he gets to enjoy things. He loves water, he loves balls. Um, I mean, yeah. Yeah, so he likes it all. Oh, yeah, Byron says, "You don't leave Danny hanging out in the window alone." Yeah, well, I was afraid while she's hanging out in the window that she might get tired of waiting on me and leave. And I can't see Danny leaving me. She's always there for me. Oh, it's so yeah, hanging out in the window. But you know what? The weirdest thing, when people come into a live and they say welcome in, I want to say come on in the house. When we went to visit someone, they would say get in this house, we're about to eat, or come sit down and have a glass of tea with us. So it always felt like there was something else you need to say besides welcome in. Welcome into the house. So yeah. Uh let's see. Danny knocking on the window. Hey, let me in. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? She is so close. She and I have battered back and forth occasionally about meeting each other. Um I'm about 5.5 hours from her maybe. At least 5. But you know what? It wouldn't be hard at all to take a day trip. And sometimes we may have to do that this winter when you know, when it's nice. And so yeah. And yesterday I had the biggest surprise. I honestly did not know she was coming to town. Kathy from Living Miracle Homestead, and she lives down in Florida. The last time she was up, day trip, yes. The last time she was up, I was at a doctor's appointment, I think. So she stopped by unannounced, and I missed her. By the time I figured out that she was in town, she was already on her way home. So I did miss her. But this time I'm working on my Noodle November video, and I'm making my mac and cheese. And oh, you'll drive Danny, and then we'll have 3 people to visit. That's great. Um, so I'm working on it, and she sends me a message, and she said, "What are you doing?" And so I told her, I said, "What are you up to?" And she said, "You won't believe it." And all of a sudden it hit me because she had mentioned in one of her videos that she might be taking a trip somewhere, but she wasn't going to tell anyone. She said, "I'm here." I said, "I knew it." And so I had to make her come in and try the mac and cheese. And even though she said she didn't have her hair combed, but y'all know we're just we don't care if the hair is out of place. We don't care if there's no makeup. Fr Humphrey, are you in Georgia or Alabama? um you don't have to give the exact place. Let's see, 12 stones, agreed. We can all learn from this and with the understanding be more compassionate and patient toward others. Yes. Yes. Um, Sometimes we take for granted when we see someone with a special needs, even an adult, a special needs child, Alabama. Okay. And so, we see them, and a lot of times we just ignore them because, we don't want to get up in their space or interfere with what's going on. And it is probably a good idea to do that in a lot of ways, because if you get up in their space and they don't know you, they could really have a meltdown because you scare them or startle them. But you don't have to make fun of the person taking care of them also. So it does bother me. Felicia, yes. Yeah, you're all in driving distance. I'm 90 miles from Atlanta. Um, hey, Carlene Vassar, and you're from Florida. Oh, nice. And I know Florida's having good weather today, right? The whole Eastern is doing really well since the hurricane went through. Of course, it was it was a tropical storm by the time it got to me. Hey, Kevin from Tuber Chat. Now there's another great person that helps channels. I learned a lot. I have been so busy, I haven't been over there, and shame on me. Um, Kevin is really supportive of channels growing, and you don't have to be a small channel. You can be a bigger, that's right. You can be a bigger channel, but he is very informative. He introduces you to many people, and I'm still friends with a lot of those people that I met in his lives. Um, yes, connect and grow. That's what it's all about. And there's more and more channels focusing on helping, the newies. We're new. We still struggle with a lot of things, but Kevin definitely has a really good channel if you want to meet some new people from all genres. I mean, coin people, music people, travel people, adventurous. I mean, besides the homesteaders and the yarn, and I mean, lots. Thank you, Danny. Definitely. That's, and I guess that's what I'm going to have to do to get out of my 679. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to get over that hump. It's like it's just hanging in there, and it's not going anywhere. And I'm still putting up videos, and I've had some really good success with shorts lately, and overnight they're going, 1,500, 2,000 views. Of course, um I'm not getting any subs from those, and we don't really expect to. Hello, Miss Southern Belle, another sweet lady, another sweet Georgia girl. She is excellent at supporting any channel, any. She is so good. You go, yeah, I'm glad you're doing good. Danny said I had a short get 2,400 in 5 days. It was like, "What?" Yeah, that's the way I was. "Hey, Lashes Journey, nice to see you." Um, I put up I was trying to do the one about the pecans and show, um, the tool that I was using for my cons. "Hey, Simply Jan, nice to see you. Good morning." Um, and dang if I didn't swallow, I thought I swallowed a fly. And all I know is it was something kind of crunchy, and uh, I think it was alive. But yes, and I that one went to 1,900 within the first 2 hours. I couldn't believe it. And I wasn't watching it like my sister was watching it, and she say, "Did you see that?" Yes, I love those pecan rollers. Now I have, and I made a mistake in that video. I should have showed you my other tool. I have two different kinds of pecan gatherers, but I don't particularly care for the other one so much. And you just jab it down and it picks up the pecans, but the little basket is really small and you can't pick up many. So I was trying to do that, but I was really surprised that that video just went totally nuts. I mean, the first hour it was already over 1,000, and my sister's like, send me a message. Did you see that? Did you see that? Well, no, I hadn't been watching it. I just put them on and I look in the next morning and see if somebody caught them. But yeah, so Lashes, Journey, are you in a sunshine state also? Hello, Glenn, had a garden. This is another one of my Floridians. Glenn, did you know that Kathy was in town? Kathy and Glenn are really good friends. They live fairly close. She just popped in yesterday to see me and popped out. I mean, I think they're going home this morning. So, how'd you miss Southern Belle? Oh, she came in quickly. She moves fast. She's been doing a lot of shopping. I envy Miss Southern Belle because I think she really enjoys shopping. And honestly, I don't. I like watching someone else do shopping, but I don't particularly care to do it. Yeah, she was, Glenn. I guess her and David just took off and decided to come look for some deer. I don't think they got anything, but they probably needed a couple of days off after that storm down there. Um, so yeah, but Miss Southern Belle, I'm telling you, she can find the cutest little things when she's shopping, and she food shops and she shops for toys, and it's nice to see somebody enjoy shopping. But I don't know why I don't enjoy shopping. I mean, I do not like to go in the stores, and if I need something, I'll go get it and get out. But just to wander around and see what's there, I don't, but I can sit and watch somebody else do it, enjoy theirs. Well, and we have to drive an hour to get to something because I'm out in the rural area. Hello, it's me, Angie. It's very nice to see you. And it's me, Angie, and Miss Southern Belle. They do a lot of lives together. They really are good at uh, playing off of each other and enjoying each other's company. Um, Miss Southern Belle says I do Shopkick app and make money. Really? I had never heard of that. Jan says, "I don't mind shopping, it's paying the bill that I don't that I don't like." Yeah, that's it. That's it. We used to say, "Oh, we're gonna go window shopping," and we don't worry about picking anything out because we know we don't have the money for it, but we enjoy some of the cool little things that you can find. Um, Now I do like going to the Salvation Army. I will look through the whole store in the Salvation Army. We don't have a Goodwill here. Um, Yes, I know what you mean, Nona Grace. I just don't enjoy actually getting out and going in, and especially if it's clothes. Oh my gosh, I'm just terrible. And when I usually get some new clothes is when my sister sends me something. She's like, she found something or something she bought and she didn't care for it. She'll send it to me. And that's usually when I get new stuff because she knows I'm so bad about shopping. And so now the one thing I did do that I really enjoyed and I could do it for hours was we used to do antique picking. We traveled all over the country and we love going in um these little hole in the wall buildings and go through everything to see if there's any neat little gadget that we wanted. Now that kind of shopping I love to do. And so I like my antique shopping, and we did it for about 15 years. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. Miss Southern Belle says, I don't buy everything, I just look. Yeah, but you look like you're having a lot of fun. Um, and she'll go to some of these stores, and it's like there's no people there. So I'm wondering, is she going just before they close so that everybody's gone and they don't get in her way? And it's like, I don't know where all the people's at. But we started watching, what was the name of that show that came out of Tennessee? The Pickers. Y'all remember that one? Um, and I guess they're still on. But we used to watch that. I mean, every time it came on, we watched that about picking and all the neat little things. And I learned a lot about vintage tools and gadgets, especially kitchen gadgets. People love old kitchen gadgets, and they actually work. I still have some of the, potato mashers and the cherry pitters. you know, I have, okay, I have something that I was supposed to sell, but I haven't sold it yet. My brother gave it to me. It is a bear trap. And this thing is so heavy, it's at least, I don't know, 50 pounds, maybe more. And it's the neatest thing. American Fur Company, I think, is the company who made it. And he gave it to me about 8 years ago. He is the brother that I lost this summer. And he said, find a find a buyer for that. He got it up in Colorado. He used to go up there and go elk hunting. And he found it in one of these little what do they call their shops up there, like their little they're like little country stores, but trading little trading post or something. But he got this bear trap. It still had the price on it, what he paid for it, but he thought it was so neat. But I'm telling you, the teeth on that thing are as wide as my shoulders. I mean, it's enormous. But that is the most unique thing that I have ever had, but I haven't got a buyer for it yet. It's not one of those things that I'm just willing to dump because I mean, it's really unique. Let's see, a bear, yes. Yeah. So anybody who has bear, and honestly, there is a YouTube video that shows you how to set this trap, and it is so hard to set. So I can imagine, and of course the people that was trying to set it, they had beers in their hands, which is not a safe thing to do. But it was almost hilarious how they were trying to set this trap. I'll have to go back and watch it to see how they actually set it. I can't remember now. But who says apple peelers? Knick-knack shops, all kinds of stuff, a knick-knack shop. Yes, yes. Hey, Jamie's Country Living. Nice to see you. Um, apple peelers. Um, the peach pitter, I really thought that was no, 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 cherry pitter. It pits cherries. I thought that was really unique. And I've seen corn huskers and people who live in the area where they have those all the time. Miss Southern Belle says, I love the outdoor flea markets. Yes. One of the best ones that I've been to, it's been a while, but it was in Canton, Texas. um, Trade days or something, and they only did it once a month. And we went down there. We had our wagons, and I mean, it was pretty cool. Byron says, "Have you considered looking up a trappers association or interest group to see if they might know someone interested in the trap?" There was a Facebook. Um, there was a Facebook group that someone actually contacted me. I had put it on that, and that was several years ago. And of course, you know, they wanted to give me nothing for it. And I thought, no, I'll keep it for that. So, no, I have not tried recently, but I mean, it's such a neat thing and it's still usable. And there are people that still have bears that are threats to their property and home, or someone who just collects things like that. Let's do a challenge. Who can pull apple without breaking? Oh, who can peel an apple peel without breaking? That is one thing I remember about my dad. He was, see, he passed away when I was 8. But I remember him sitting on the porch with his little pocket knife, and I think it was called an old timer pocket knife, and a little tiny blade, and he could peel an apple and it never break. And then he would eat the peel. And then he would slice off the little pieces of apples for us. But I just remember him peeling apples like that. And I guess when you have time and you can sit there and peel and peel and peel, and it's an art. It's definitely an art. Hello, Inherited Stitches. Nice to see you. I hope I haven't missed anyone. If I did, I'm sorry. Um, Sometimes I get to talk, and let me go back up in the chat and see. It feel like there's somebody that I missed, and I just don't know who it is. Um, but yeah, we need to all get our apple peelers out. We need to see if we can peel the apple without breaking. It's pretty cool. Now, those old-fashioned, things that you peel the potatoes on, and you can peel apples, I guess, and fruit on it too, but and it cuts them into little spirals. Those were pretty cool. But I did a lot, an awful lot, um, with kitchen gadgets. Yes, Jan, the old egg beater. Um, they're the neatest thing, and you know what? They really worked. They really worked good. Um the egg beaters. And you don't want to get your fingers in those things because they will hurt. Um, but the egg beaters, the potato mashers, I still have some with the yellow and green wooden handles. They were very sought after. Um, very sought after. And of course, the paint was gone, and who knows, it probably was asbestos paint or something that wasn't good for us. But I did, I share you out on my Facebook. Thank you so much. And I don't get on Facebook much, and I try to post what's going on, but I got hacked a couple of weeks ago, and it just kind of spoils it when they do that. Hey, Bonnie's Bargains. Nice to see you. That's a really, really neat channel, Bonnie's Bargains, y'all. Now, she loves to shop and she can find some great bargains. Great bargains. But Nona Grace says, I have an egg beater. My sister has the potato masher. Yeah. And you know what? The potato mashers have not changed in style all these years. If you notice the new ones, they're just replicas of the old ones. But, they use different. You're welcome, Bonnie. Um, so yeah, I'm so glad you came, Jan. I appreciate you popping in. Stay warm. I know y'all are getting cooler weather up there than we are. We're actually warming up. We're at 53 now. Um, Although you can see I got two layers on. It's let's see, Jamie says I just came across a spatula that if you squeeze the handle, it flips to the side. Really? That's unusual. I don't think I've ever seen that. But I love the kitchen gadgets. And another thing for the kitchen that I like is the old Hoosiers. I got one at an auction one time, and the first thing people do is they want to clean them up and they want to repaint them. Not me. I loved it. I loved the worn spots, and I put that in my antique booth that I was selling some of my things, and it didn't stay there long. People liked those things. It still had the flower being in it. Miss Southern Belle says, I wonder if you can make some good smelling apple peeling with cinnamon slice orange. Now, that's the way my mother made jelly is she used all the apple peels and the cores. That's that's how she made the jelly. With the jam, she made it with the fruit, but with the jelly, she used the peelings, so they didn't go to waste. And then she threw them out to the pigs, probably. Nona Grace said they're 37.3 here. Wow. Okay, that's cold. Now we did get to 35 last night. We sure did. So, oh, good, Jamie. I'd like to see a video on that. Do it. You could do a little short or a little video. Thank you, Danny. Um, on some of those old gadgets. When I unpack my kitchen, when I get back into my farmhouse, I think that's a good one to do is to gather up some of those old kitchen gadgets and just do a little short video on them. Now the what's the thing that you squeeze the lemons and the oranges, that little juicer thing that you just take it and you just twist it. It's hard to find them glass anymore because a lot of them were broken. Do a minute, that time will count. Yes, yes, do at least a minute video. Um, so those little orange juicers. I had the milk glass and I had the really pretty it's like a green. Oh, they were so pretty. Um, and the old fashioned butter dish it kind of it wasn't silver, but it was probably tin, who knows? But I still use that in my kitchen. I have that little butter dish, and it has the lid and the little thing on the top that you grab it. It has it's I mean it's perfect, but I still use that in my kitchen. Um Jamie says hubby found an old cast iron tea kettle as well as number three on the bottom. I have a tea kettle up at the farmhouse and it's got a crack in it. So I just have it sitting outside on the porch as decoration. I'll have to look at mine, and it's got the lid is actually attached so you don't lose the lid. It's like, what they heated water with. So, but I think it's pretty cool. So, um, Nona Grace says I had an old fashioned orange press. It's metal with an arm on it. I don't think I've ever seen an orange press. That's got to be pretty good size. Um, the little things that you put your tea bag in, and you know, I, it didn't matter in the kitchen gadgets what I found, as long as they were vintage, antique, vintage. Um, there is a difference in on, but as long as it was, and they didn't care if it was rusty, they didn't care, and but it didn't matter. I mean, they would pay 5, 6, 7, $8, $10, $15 for a really unique, um, kitchen gadget, and especially if it was still useful. Lee says, I'm back. I had to go to Tractor Supply. Oh, you've already been shopping. Jamie says, I have a cow cast iron hot plate. Really? I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think so. Oh, I do too. I love cast iron. I have a griddle. I have the best frying pan, but it's no lie, it's only about this big. And it's cast iron, and it makes the best fried eggs because it's just perfect for fried egg. So, and I have, of course, a lot of people saw the little corn pone, for the cornbread. Those are fun. The kids always enjoy, when I made those. Um, and I found one on the farm when we moved here, and it's rusted. I have it hanging on the barn because it's so rusted. And if I cleaned it off, it just seems delicate. So I thought, yeah, I'm just going to leave it rusted because it was really cool. It was buried in the dirt here on the farm. Um, I don't know how we ended up digging it up, but it just, it was just there. Jamie says, I have a lodge and another one. The name escapes me. I can't remember. There's several, but Lodge is probably I don't know if it's the best quality, but it's the most popular, and they still make it today. It's really good. So I think it probably is the best quality of them. And many of them were not marked. They were not marked. Um, and I mean, I have 10-inch pans, 8-inch pans. I have the 8-inch Dutch oven, and I have the bean. It's like a bean pot, and it's even got the cast iron handle, and it has a lid so you can hang it on. I guess it was like, you know, fireplace, not fireplace, but campfires and stuff. So it's really great to take when you're camping. Years ago, I was shopping in the store, had a little candle that was in a cast iron frying pan, so I bought it, and just because of the frying pan, yes. The milk glass, oh yes, Miss Southern Belle, the milk glass was always so popular, and the depression glass, but they're unique things, but people don't, the I guess the younger crowd, um, the ones that didn't grow up with those type of things in their homes, they don't really see usefulness of some of those vintage pieces, but they're still usable. Um, Byron says, have you ever had one of those cold handle frying pans? Cold handle? I don't think so. Huh. I've never I've never had one of those. Uh the old Avon red glass. Yes, yes. Some of those things are just, I mean, they're so unique. I guess that's why we always enjoyed going into these little beat up places that had thousands of things in it. I mean, it took you all day to go through these places. And that was before I had cameras that I would take pictures of things and, make film and film it as I was going. Now, if I went in now, I would have my camera in hand. I would be filming everything that was unique. But I mean, we found some of the greatest things. I found a whole set of dental tools one time up in Kentucky, and it was in an old barn. It was an old schoolhouse that they had turned into an antique barn. And it was a whole set of dental tools. And I didn't pay much for it, but I tell you, I got 10 times the price for it. and because it was so unique and it was just not something. Some of our best finds were in Kentucky and Tennessee, um, up in the hills. I'm telling you. I do miss doing that. I really miss doing that. But I don't miss having to keep up the antique booth and always, adding new things because I mean it's an never ending. Um, we are into Ertl now. ERTE. Is that what is that? Now we have a few painting. I don't know that I've ever seen that. So I've been out of it now for 8 years. So there's a lot of good bargains that I've missed. But that is the type of shopping that I always love doing. And I went from gadgets to furniture, you know, the wash basins and, some really unique small pieces. And I went to repairing those. And if they couldn't be repaired, then I would paint them. And, but I tried to always save the natural wood of the vintage furniture. And sometimes you can't save it, and sometimes it's not heavy. Nona Grace said, I like walking through the antique stores and seeing the things that I own, and seeing the price on them that they put on them. Yeah, it does amaze you. And people will pay those prices too. They sure will. And because they're so unique, and you have some people that's all they do is they collect things like that. And they do use them. A lot of them use them because they feel like the quality back then was better than some of the trash that's out there now. If it lasts you a year, you'll be lucky. Some of these things are 100 years old. Um, if you ever see ERTE picture, grab it. They're on Fitz and Floyd. Really? Are these little oil paintings, or are they sketched, or I'm gonna have to look it up now. You're gonna intrigue me about that. I'm gonna have to look it up. Huh. So there's a lot of neat stuff. And yeah, I don't mind walking through a store like that and never buying anything. I just love the conversation that you'll get from that piece. Just walking through the store, it's like, oh my gosh, I remember those. Or my mom used to have one of these, or there was always one of these at my grandparents' house, or um, you know, always. Yo, we almost got in a fight. To change the subject, we almost got in a fight with our neighbor. Um, because we're remodeling the farmhouse. Our neighbors are moving. They're the ones who cost us. Uh, they cost us a life of one of our dogs last summer. One of our $500 hunting dogs. We had to put it down because of their fireworks. So Byron says that I discovered the cold handle pan skillet when I was looking for camping gear. Apparently, cold hand pans have been around for a very long time. Yeah, and I'll have to look that one up too, just because it's intriguing me. So I was in the house and I heard our livestock dogs are there to guard our animals and us. And I heard them going totally berserk. I mean, berserk. And I ran out there, and Bear, mind you, for those who haven't seen Bear in a while, his head is like massive. And he's got his head through the red fence, and he's trying to get onto the yard side because there is a stray dog there. And I didn't know where it came from or if it was dangerous. And both of the dogs were trying to get to it, and I hurried up and I sent a message. My husband was in the house, and I said, there's a stray dog here. Come help me. I can't control the dogs. They're going to eat him up. And he come running outside, probably in his underwear. Because if it was late in the evening and I was feeding the animals, and he come outside with a gun. Oh, oops, a pea shooter. Okay. It was a big one. And I'm trying to keep the dogs, and I'm telling them run the dog off, do something, get him away from here because I didn't know if I could control him anymore. Bear is probably 80 pounds now, and I need to do an update on his size. He's humongous, but he does guard us, and he's trying to get to this dog. And here my husband is carrying this thing, and all of a sudden the neighbors are running over trying to get their animal, and they see my husband with, his gun. And they're like, "What are you doing?" "Well, get your dog off the property. My dogs are fixing to eat him. Just get him off." And they're taking their time. It's like, somebody get that dog away from here because my dogs are fixing to jump the fence. You've got to get him away. And so I think they were a little offended, but you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry. You're moving anyway, but you got to take your dog with you, and he has to stay away from my property because ours are guarding. That's what they're here for. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up, Byron, about those cold handled um pans. Bonnie's Oh, when you sold antiques too? The library stackers were the best sellers. Yes, what do they call them? The lawyer Is that the lawyers shelving? The ones that are just stacked up. They're not actually nailed together. What are those things called? I still have one in my barn that I want to fix up that I kept, and it still has the glass in it. For those who don't know what those are, they were in the lawyer's offices, and they were very sought after and still are, I'm sure. Used to have a booth too, Miss Southern Belle. Oh, we got a lot in common here. Um, so why there's another name for those library stackers, and yeah, it was like a shelving unit, but it had glass in it, and each one of the little doors would lift up and then slide back into the shelf, and the attorneys kept all their books and volumes and stuff in these. um One statue is worth $30,000 that you had, Miss Southern Belle. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I've never run across anything that valuable. um Wow, that's really something. So yeah, these were library uh lawyers. Oh, I got to look them up now. Somebody tell me what those are. But they are like shelving, and they you can add to them and make them as tall as you want. There's always a bottom base, and there's always a top, and in between it's just like little boxes that you stack together. And sometimes they have glass. Most of the time they have glass so that you can see your books, but they're kept, dust free. um, but they were in attorneys offices and stuff like that, and they're very expensive, and the new ones that they make now are probably not even, um, they're probably very lightweight. But I found some that were made of cherry. Um, it was cherry, I think. Oh my gosh, they were beautiful. And somebody out of Atlanta actually bought it. And yes, they're like library glass file cabinets. Yes. But the door lifts up. I mean, it just lifts totally up and then slides all the way back into the unit. So then they could, and some of them actually, there may have been one or two on a unit that I have seen that have locks. So if something they did not want anyone to, get their volumes. But yeah, those were really neat. And I know I have one in my barn that it does need work, but it's still together, and it still has all the glass. I think it's 5 shelves. Um, at least says we still have my granddaddy's kitchen table. Really? Oh, neat. And I do have a drop leaf oak, I believe it's oak or walnut table that I'm going to put back into my farmhouse when I redo it. It drops down on both sides, and it's really a neat little table. Um It's me, Angie. Great conversation. I used to have a booth out of a local antique mall. James and I collect a lot of antique smalls. Yes, I love the smalls. Um, and Nona says the filing unit at our school has those kinds of cabinets, except they are not glass anymore. They they make them out of metal, and the door slides up and back into it. Yes, and it does have a lock. Yes. Um, yes, it's a serious problem, Miss Southern Belle. But you know what? They were leaving. They have already moved. Thank God they took uh and the little dog, in all honesty, it was a puppy, 6 months old beagle or something. But I did not know if it was a serious threat. And my dogs felt it was a serious threat. They were, and I was standing there. They were trying to get between me and the dog. They did not want that dog near me. Uh, let's see. Bonnie says, I sold a fence stretcher at an auction. I couldn't believe what it sold for, and it was so rusty, and a rancher bought it. You know, that is some of the most unique things are bought by the farmers today that are older. They've had something like it on their farm, or they have pieces like it, and they just buy them to preserve them because they feel like that they're just going to get trashed. And a lot of times the younger crowd, I'm sorry, they just if they've never had any experience with a farm or a ranch, or um they don't necessarily know the value of those type of things, even though they're not valued, you know, for a lot of money. Um, let's see. Elise says, still have my mom's china cabinet. Oh, good. Yes, we have the china cabinet that belonged to my husband's grandmother, and I redid it and gave that one to one of my children. Um, so I've been trying to share some of those things, that they can take care of when I'm gone. Um, Byron says, yes, it's a metal file cabinet with a glass window on the doors. Yes, but there's another word. It's like a barrister's a bookcase or something. I forget what the name. There is a name for them. Um, that makes them sound really, I mean, unique, which they are. They're really, and they're still being made today, but those old ones, they're really sought after. So thank you. Yes, hit the thumbs up. Oh, I got 18, y'all. That's nice. Um, let's see. Lee says we still have the potbelly stove from the mountain house. Really? Now, I don't have a potbelly stove, but I have a coal burning stove that I'm going to actually put in my farmhouse. It will burn wood or coal, and it's hard to describe what it looks like, almost like a potato bin. It's kind of tall, and it's made out of that baked enamel type stuff. And I can't wait to bring it out and show everybody. It's a cool piece, and I'm going to put it in the farmhouse. I bought it to put it in the farmhouse many years ago, and I saw it. Nonna Grace said our son-in-law borrowed our fence stretcher to do his fence. They are great pieces of equipment. Yes, that the farmers had to have those type of things, the fence stretchers, and the little tools to repair the barbed wire and stuff. They had to have those type of things. Yes, the barristers. Yes, um, the lawyer barrister bookcase. Yeah, it was cool. Um, I'll send a picture when I get home. Thank you, Elise. Um, I grew up with a potbelly stove also, our grandma Pope, and she heated she always had a coffee pot on it, and I'm sure it had coffee and not water because they were coffee drinkers. And it had like four eyes, and I remember the little gadget that they would stick in the eye and use it to take it out, and then they would drop the wood down in it, um, on hers. And I know some of them that had doors, and you opened up the door and put them up under there. But I remember that little tool. And during our travels of searching, one time we found that little tool and we didn't know what it was. until we ran across an old auctioneer and he told us what it was. So, I mean, it was kind of neat. Yes, the good old days. Um, but if we don't share those type of things, we're passing on the history of our lives, with all of those little tools. We didn't have a lot of little tools, but what we had was, I mean, it was a necessity. Hey, Vandal the Land, nice to see you. So glad you came in. So yeah, I really enjoy that kind of shopping. That is my shopping, is vintage antique shopping. And I found a chair, a rocking chair, and it was like they called it the granny's sewing chair or something, and it was very tiny. But inside of it, when I went to fix the seat, I wanted to leave the original seat on it just because I always just loved the original seat, but it needed some more stuffing underneath it because it was cracked in the middle. And when I flipped it over and looked inside, it had horsehair in it instead of cotton. It was stuffed with horsehair. And I thought, isn't that the neatest thing? So I left it in there and I stuffed it with some cotton, real cotton, to make up for that hole. And it's still sitting on my daughter's porch over there. So, but it was made out of oak. So yeah, I loved it. Um, let's see. She says, Linda, you're on 6 Acre Rescue and I'm on 3 Acre Park. Really? Oh, that's neat. There's another channel that's 6 Acres Farm, I think. Or 6 Acres Ranch or something. It's very close. Um, but I mean, you know, we didn't start out trying to think of what was a cool name. We just called it 6 Acres. Nona Grace says the 100-year-old pump organ that I gave away had a stool that was filled with horsehair. Yes, yes. I've never had one of the well, I take that back. I did have one of the pump organs, and it was in a church, and we got it at an auction, and I think I paid like $20 for it. Nobody wanted it, but it was so neat. And I put it in my antique booth, and I think I kept that thing for a year. And then one day someone came in and had to have it, but it had the spots where you put the lanterns on each side so you could see what you were playing. I never played, so, but I mean, I would pick up unique things, and even though I didn't know if anybody wanted them, but it was fun doing it. And like I said, we did it for like 15 years or so, and we may have done it a lot longer than that, but we just kept those items instead of selling them. And then we got to the point where it's like we got to get rid of some of them. And my husband had a booth that was just tools, and a lot of it was vintage tools. And oh my gosh, you could never get enough pitchforks, you could never get enough shovels, rakes. Yes, Nona Grace said my pump organ has the lanterns. Yes, like that. But they're just little spots where you set the lantern on. It, mine had the spot on both sides, so you could have a lantern on both sides. Your thumbs up number 19. Oh, exciting. That's a good number. Good number. Vandal the Land. You don't have to tell exactly which state you live in, but or which town you live in, but what part of the area do you live in? Until I go and look, I won't know. But oh, Oklahoma, that's the state I was born in, y'all. Um, Central Oklahoma. I was born in Carter County, Ardmore to be as a matter of fact. And y'all, okay, this may be why, maybe some people think I'm not all there, but I was born in the Ardmore Memorial Hospital and Sanitarium. It had one name, but I was born in the hospital part. But on my little birth certificate, and they give you like a little it's not a real certificate, it's like a little, you know, just a little certificate. It has the picture of the hospital and all that, like an announcement thing. And that's what it said on that little announcement, that I was born in the sanitarium, but it was really the hospital. Cleveland County. Yes, I know where that is. Yes, we grew up in Carter County. Have many, many folks and friends in Oklahoma still. All over the state. Although I have not lived there since I was 13. Home of the Sooners. Yes, the Okies. Yeah. Yeah, they used to, I think they called us Okies because they were trying to insult us, but you know, it didn't insult us. Yeah, we were just called Okies. Um, so yeah. Well, gosh, y'all, I can't believe it's already an hour and 21 minutes. See, when you're having fun and a good conversation, we really forget what time it is. And I know some of y'all, your lunch is probably over. But yeah, me, I'm just washing clothes, and this is just a day that I find that's easy to do, and so I hope y'all have a good week, the rest of the week, and if you see any cool gadgets, we'll talk about them. I might find a couple of them so I can show you some of the ones that I have in the barn. Um, but I just love the vintage stuff. I'm originally from Illinois, and I also moved when I was 13. Yeah. Doesn't but it doesn't take the it doesn't take the original home place out of you. You always say, I'm from this state. Thank you. I appreciate that, Bonnie. And it's me, Angie. It's nice of you to come by. So nice. And Byron, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Nona Grace, it has been great. Great. So y'all go check out some of the other channels. Um, Danny dropped she dropped the links at the top of the conversation on most of you guys. Yes. And so go check those out. Check out the collaborations. That Noodle November has got some great recipes, guys. and and noodles go a long ways. I don't eat a lot of noodles myself, but good. I'm glad. And but I mean, there's really some great recipes, and some of them are making them. Oh, there's one of noodles. Let me tell you that there's one they made noodles of spaghetti squash. So they're like on the low carb keto or something, or maybe just eating healthy. But they made some absolutely great looking noodles. So there's something for everybody. So, but I'll get off of here. I'll get my laundry done, and I will see you guys next week if you're around. And in the meantime, let's go check out everybody's channel and just give them a little thumbs up and a little support. So I'll see you guys next week, okay? Bye. Me too, Elise. I love spaghetti squash. That's one of my favorites. I appreciate you all. Byron, I should have made you a mod. You're so great at it. I used to go antiquing. I was a glass collector, blown and depressing. Yes, I love the depression glass. That was some of my favorite, was the depression glass. And it just, no depression. Yes, no depression. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you guys next week, and we'll see you on the YouTube streets probably before then. See ya. Let me find my little spot. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you. I'm so glad you all came in. I appreciate it. Thank you, Vandal the Land. I'll check you out.